Welcome, and thank you for joining for another whiskey review. Today, we're going to go back to Islay, Laphroaig, one of my favorite distilleries, and Cory's going to bring out the oldest Laphroaig I've ever done on this whiskey channel. The 32-year, 200th anniversary. What was that, 2015 or 16?
2015. Laphroaig was started in 1815, established. This is
Legally. They were moonshining just like the Americans were before that. They're our cousins, you know.
Yes. Well, I'm from Scotland originally. My name is Cory Harkins, last name Harkins. We do have a clan coat of arms in Scotland. Bottled at cask strength, May of 2015.
So for those of you who are regulars to my channel, take a look at this one right here. Those of you who are regulars to my channel, you can see that I took my show on the road today. So I'm in Indianapolis, Indiana, with my friend Cory. We met on Scotch Addicts.
Yep. Met for the first time tonight.
In person. Cory is a chiropractor.
I am.
So he bent my neck this way through the window and then that way through the window. And then I felt like
How do you feel?
$1 million.
Yeah, $1 million.
Feel so much better. I got to tell you though, the Tenine and 36 and this Ardbeg 32 helped me feel better.
Oh, yeah.
These are some high-end whiskeys.
If anyone from the Indiana Board of Chiropractic Examiners is watching, we did the adjustment before we started drinking.
Before we started drinking, in a professional setting, with the vinyl gloves and everything.
Yeah.
All right, so Laphroaig 32, 46.7% ABV, cask strength bottling, and I tell you what, I'm a huge fan of Laphroaig, as you are.
Oh, you've never had this. That's right.
Not
this is
this
your first
particular
32.
First 32.
I can't wait. And you haven't tasted it tonight? You haven't
No.
smelled it tonight?
I'm shooting from the hip.
To drink?
I'm shooting from the hip.
Oh my God, I can't wait for this.
All right, let's put the cap on here. Let's talk about a little bit about what it says on the back as far as cask maceration. And I will say this. Laphroaig, because I gave you an 18. What's left for one of my 18s.
Yep.
It doesn't have the same label as this. You have to get this thick label, you got to go to the 25 year. 25, 27, 28, 30. They have this really nice thick label on here that I love. So what this is telling us about this one, it looks like as far as the cask maturation, exquisite single cask ex Oloroso Sherry hogshead for 32 years to give it a profound character. This rare liquid features notes of dark bitter chocolate, nutmeg, spice, oak, but we'll be the judge of that.
We will.
And you know, sometimes with Laphroaig, usually they come in the green bottle, like where Lagavulin comes in the brown bottle.
Right.
But this one's a clear bottle.
Yep.
And this is very similar to the Fila Isla Fino cask I got. And they love to show off that lovely rusted red color.
Yes.
On some of these finishes. So
You call
beautiful
that
bottle.
rusted red?
Rusty red, rusted sword maybe.
Yeah.
I recently went back to
Very much honey to me.
yeah, you can say it looks like
I
honey.
like the honey. But it does have that reddish rust in there as well.
I recently went back to a classic game. I used to be a gamer when I was a young man. I went back to the original Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And they had the rusted, I bought it on PlayStation 4. $5 for
What a
that and
great
Rondo of
game.
Blood. Great game.
What a great game.
My girl has just been like, why are you playing a 2D video game? I'm 27 years old. I didn't know something like this existed.
But what a great analogy to video games, to scotches.
It's the rusty
Because
sword.
It's the rusty sword, but it's also that aged video gaming, aged scotch.
Yeah. Like basically when I was playing that video game in 1982, they were probably distilling this and putting it in a barrel. Yeah, so we were just talking about how you can bring, with scotch as far as the smell and the taste for me, there's no right or wrong. It's whatever it evokes memory-wise for you. And when I looked at that color, I thought the Rusty Sword, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, 1982.
Yeah, and the reason that I bought this, shout out to Sean for
Z-Wang.
Z-Wang. So he filled me in. This is a mixture of different casks, but there are, although it's a 32 year, which would take it to 1983, 1/3 of these casks were from 1981 sherry. So he sent me this article that broke it down. There was 3 different cask blends. One was from 81, some was from 82. So technically this is my birth year scotch, 1981.
Lovely.
The only one I have, and I had to have it. And
Well,
I need to get another one.
Just like everything, millennials ruin scotch.
I'm not a millennial. He keeps trying to say that.
All right.
After I give him these fine scotches, he still insults me at the millennial. All you millennials out there, you're fine. You're not watching this, but you're fine.
Keep telling yourself that. All right. When I smell this, I'm getting so much I initially, I don't even know where to even start with it. I'm getting classic Laphroaig notes. I mean, there is that iodine, there is that little bit of hospital, but man, it is so faint.
It's the most unique Laphroaig. If I'd have given this to you earlier and not told you the Laphroaig and said, smell this,
I would know it was Laphroaig. I wouldn't know what Laphroaig it was.
it'd be hard to say. It's the Laphroaig, you smell the Laphroaig peat smoke, but then you'd be like, what is the rest of that?
What's the rest of it? It's almost like it was a blend.
Yeah.
Almost like a compass box blend where you would have a little bit of Laphroaig in it, and then maybe something else, some Kalila or something like else, because Laphroaig is there, but it's just a small piece.
Yeah.
It's like...
It's very muted and aged.
Yes. It's like Texas. It's still big, but in the grand scheme of the whole United States, it's just a piece.
It is.
Just a piece.
And there's something that Sean, for those of you who don't know Sean, he's one of the most knowledgeable Scotch friends I have. He talks about this scent and this taste. If you have kids, it's baby puke, and that sounds disgusting, but if you've had a kid puke on you, there's a baby puke scent. And I actually found an article, it's not just Sean being crazy, that talks about the baby puke scent, and it gives you that mouth-filling, milky, mouth-watering taste inside.
Well, I'll say this. I don't get that because I don't have kids, but I will. But I do know this. Sean is not crazy because Sean has some of the best whiskeys I've ever seen.
Ever.
And he's got a collection of Porsches larger than my house. So
nice.
I tend to go with what Sean has to say.
I thought he was crazy too, and then the first time I'm like, you know what?
But you have a bunch of little kids, though.
I do. I've been puked on many, many times. We've been interrupted a few times here. Thank God my kids are cute, and he can cut this out later.
I love kids. I got 6 sisters, like I told you. 18 nieces and nephews.
6 sisters.
All right, so let's get some of these smells. Okay, so besides Laphroaig, besides iodine, I'm getting red apple.
Nutmeg, red apple, yeah.
I'm getting a light spice. I'm getting ginger, nutmeg, clove.
It's a perfect fall whiskey.
Oh,
it's cold outside. It's chill in the air.
It's about 45 degrees here in Ohio right now. Oh, no, sorry, Indiana.
We're in Indiana now.
We're in the same latitude, though.
We're in the same latitude. You know, Indiana's better, but that's okay. We'll let it slide.
I tell you what, I'm from Columbus. As you know, one of my sisters lived here. I'm originally from Illinois.
Okay.
Originally from just outside of Chicago. I lived in Columbus since I was 12. My sister lived in Indianapolis for a long time. Indianapolis and Columbus are very similar cities.
Yeah.
Very similar.
There's something in there that's sweet and tasty that I haven't put my finger on yet.
Marmalade. It is a tangy, orangey marmalade.
When you were a kid, did your mom ever make you toast and put butter on it and then cinnamon sugar?
Absolutely.
Cinnamon toast?
Getting
the cinnamon toast.
Yeah, I got that. I used that throughout my life. Get some Wonder Bread, cut off the edges.
It's that buttery cinnamon sugar.
Warm.
Yeah.
Warm melted butter.
Just melts in your mouth.
More melted butter. Not only sugar, but salt. Salt and sugar.
Mm-hmm. But there's age there, too. There's this I almost hate to say this, moldy mildew, but not a gross moldy mildew. Just
there's a dampness.
Dank. Is what Sean was talking. Damp or dank. If you're on the beach and you're walking and there's
driftwood.
Decaying.
Driftwood.
I'm getting that decaying thing, but again, not a gross. It's in the background.
It's all covered with sweetness.
It's like an elegant, sweet, but dank.
I'm getting wet driftwood in it too.
Kind of I used to go to Lake Michigan with my uncle, and you would go exploring into the wood and the stuff that washed up on shore, and there'd kind of be something that's been there for a few years, and
you can tell it's saturated with moisture.
Yeah, and it's been saturated for years and years.
But it was still a solid at one point. It was a piece of wood, or it was something. Right, it was something.
Oh, and then the cinnamon sugar comes back.
And just a tad bit of malt vinegar. Just a little bit. Do you have Five Guys hamburgers around here?
We do have Five Guys.
You ever put the malt vinegar on the fries?
On the French fries.
Yeah. There's just a little bit of that potato doughy vinegar note in this. Mm-hmm. Oh man, this is an excellent Laphroaig. I've had many Laphroaigs. I'm a huge Laphroaig fan. I probably have 15 Laphroaigs currently right now.
Yeah, nice.
The oldest Laphroaig I've ever tasted was the 30, 43% ABV. This being 32 years, this being cask strength, man, this is just the best Laphroaig I've ever had.
It's one of the best, for sure.
I wish I'd opened that 40-year-old from 2004 I had.
Next time.
I just couldn't do it.
Next time.
Now, I know, Sean, if you happen to be watching this video, which I know you do watch a few of my videos, Sean, I know you have the new 30-year, the old version of 43%. I remember when you got it off auction, I told you how impressed I was with that whiskey.
It's changed so much.
It's more sherry than this one, Sean, but it's not more candied and more sugar than this one. This is very candied, sugar, sweet, licorice, maybe a bit of aniseed.
Aniseed. That's what it is.
Yeah,
Aniseed.
star anise.
Yes.
Star anise.
It's funny you bring Sean up because the first time I ever opened this, I did a tasting with Sean and I was disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, don't worry.
Give it time.
Give it some time. Let it open up.
Buddy.
This is entirely different than the first time I opened this.
It waited 32 years to come to you in a bottle.
From my birth year.
From
I
your
was
birth
born,
year.
this was born, we're here now.
We're here now. You're cracking necks. This is cracking expectations on what Laphroaig can be. Wow, this is a great Laphroaig.
What a great, yeah, we haven't even tried it. We haven't tasted it. That's just the nose.
All right, let's get into it. Wow. Red apple, caramel on it, sugar on top of that with some anise. A little bit of celery.
Ooh.
If that even makes any sense. A little bit of celery. Mango, papaya, sugar on all that too. Mouth coating, viscous, white pepper. Not a super black spicy pepper, white
It
pepper.
hit the middle of my tongue.
Middle palate pepper.
I've had this probably 5 or 6 times. It's never hit the pepper like that.
Whew.
I don't know if it's because we've had a few tastings, but the middle of my tongue exploded with pepper. Wow.
This is so alive and so poppin' for 32 years.
This is so different than when it was here than there.
That's the beauty of the whiskey.
Wow.
How long have you had this bottle open?
Oh,
4 months?
gosh.
5 months?
Maybe around there.
It's a sweet spot, man.
Yeah.
I will never usually bring a whiskey review or whiskey to the people for a review until I've had the bottle open for months.
Yeah.
But this one, I want to have a couple, and I want to come back to it. See how it changes.
Let
That's
that
the
open
beauty
up.
of the bottle. That's what you can't get out of a sample. You can't get the
No,
true beauty
no.
of the bottle. Because if you take your time with it and you work it down, because let's be honest, the amount of money we spend on some of these high-end whiskeys, it does you no advantage to buy a whiskey like this and drink it in a week.
Oh,
or
God.
take it to the cabin,
That's sinful.
go hunting,
No.
and pound it down. You need to give this
Buy
time.
the cheap stuff for that, what I call peasant scotch. This, and the beauty of this is when you buy something like this, is you come back to it like once a month or a year.
Yes.
And each time it's like, oh my God, it's a whole different experience.
Oh,
And the bottle just, people sometimes, I don't know if you've gotten this, like, they scoff that you spend this much on a bottle of whiskey.
it's
But they
all
spend-
perspective.
But they spend $100 on a bottle of wine. They drink that night.
Yeah.
This you can enjoy 10 times
You spent
at least.
$40,000 on a car.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
As far as an alcohol taste, people will drop a couple $100. You go to a fancy steakhouse and you get a bottle of wine delivered to your table.
Oh, hundreds.
A couple $100, it's gone that night, and you got like 2 or 3 glasses. You spend, this bottle I think is what, $1,200. But I mean, you come back to this and the experience you get, and then sharing it with somebody who experiences whiskey and likes whiskey.
Oh man, this is beautiful.
It's valuable.
Oh yeah, I mean again, you're doing it the right way. You want to drink it over the course of a year or years and have it for a long time.
And
now,
if it's special to you, like a birth year, you know, you only get it out on your birthday or when a special friend comes over to visit.
well, I gotta tell you, Corey, even if it wasn't your birthday, a 32-year-old Laphroaig is special regardless, man. I mean, again, I have 100 different Scotch whiskeys. I don't have a Laphroaig this old,
Yeah.
and I love Laphroaig.
And you love Laphroaig.
Love it.
It's like Laphroaig said, you know what? What should we do for Corey's birth year whiskey? Let's give a 200-year anniversary bottle.
Probably
They
what
did
they were
it for me.
Probably what they're thinking is, the whole 200th anniversary. But you know what? They might have been thinking of you.
I think they were thinking of me.
If they were, I'm glad. Thank you, John Campbell, for thinking of Corey here, because this is an excellent bottle.
Did we read it? This is a
Yeah, I read it.
dark bitter chocolate, nutmeg.
Yeah, and I got down the cask
spicy
maturation.
oak. Nice.
Yeah, it's a beaut, man. It's such a beautiful whiskey. All right, so now we add a little bit of water to it. See, we're kind of getting different on the palate.
Anything? It's more sugary to me again.
Sherbet ice cream.
It's brown sugar.
You've been sherbet ice cream. You know what I'm
What
talking about?
flavor?
The orange.
Orange sherbet.
Sherbet ice cream. You ever go to like a Japanese steakhouse?
Yeah.
And at the end, like what were they?
They
Like
bring you a little
Benihana,
scoop.
and they cut it out in front of you. And you get the chicken, you get the shrimp, and you get and you get the salad on the side that isn't very good, and you get the iced tea. But then you bring you out orange sherbet at the end to clean your palate. This is like with a little bit of water, orange sherbet.
But still has the dankness. The dankness is always there, and if you're a Laphroaig fan,
Everything's wet.
it's just that I love that mildewy dank but sweetness.
You you like the movie It
No, I don't watch scary movies.
at all?
Do you?
Oh yeah, but it's okay.
People watch scary movies.
Hey, you know
I
what?
watched The Ring, freaked me out, I was done.
That was a good movie. When that chick came out of the TV, like wow,
Good.
terrifying.
The
Well,
opposite of Scotch is scary movies.
okay, so in the movie It, he's down this sewer, right, where they
Yeah.
make all the kids float and everything's just saturated in water. The wood, the cardboard, clothing, cotton, everything's wet. It is a wet sweetness with hospital, medicinal.
For the rest of you out there, this is nothing like Pennywise. This is just an amazing Scotch whiskey.
I'd say Pennywise. I said his lair. His wet lair.
You decide.
I tell you what, man, when I smell this, I'm going into the deadlights. I don't know if I could come back and do a normal Laphroaig here. I think God didn't buy that other Laphroaig Black Label 25. I'd have been so disappointed.
I hope Sean's watching because I may have ruined you with Laphroaig 32. He ruined me with Ardbeg 23.
Yeah,
I can't drink anything else now.
yeah.
I've got, I don't know, 12 bottles of regular Ardbeg. I don't even know what to do with anymore. They just sit there and look cool.
Well, you only have one bottle of this.
No, and I need more.
Yeah.
After tonight, I need more.
And you need to savor this thing and keep it safe. 32 years.
32 years.
What were you doing 32 years ago?
I was being born.
Yeah.
Well, I'm 38 now, but when this was being made, I was being born.
Yeah.
Let's see, I was 6. I was in first grade, Mrs. Friend's class. I was making shapes and playing with clay.
Walter Payton jaunting through the backfield for the Chicago Bears. Michael Jordan was still
They
in
can't
North Carolina.
let 1985 go.
It's the only thing we got. We
I'm
got
a
that.
Viking
Mitch
fan.
Trubisky. It's
I
brutal.
don't have that.
Yeah, Casey Goldberg, if you're watching this video, man, he's also a Vikings fan. What is it that all of you Scotch guys are Vikings fans?
No,
It's
you're
brutal.
born. You must be from Minnesota because you're born into that curse. But thank God I moved to Indianapolis. We had Peyton Manning. I get to claim him as my own. That
Yeah.
2007 Super Bowl.
I have to claim Mitch Trubisky, Rex Grossman, and Kyle Orton. That's what I'm left with. Those three.
Oh, there's more than that.
The unholy trinity.
There's more than that.
Craig Krenzel.
You guys and the Browns.
Oh, we're the Browns in the NFC.
You are.
I tell Bears fans that all the time on Twitter, and they're like, "How dare you say that? Are you even a Bears?" They question my fandom.
Is there anybody worse in the NFC than you guys?
The Bears?
The
Over the last
Lions,
20 years?
The Lions.
The LOL Lions.
They went 0-16 once.
They did.
They're so bad we don't even think about them
Matt Millen.
though.
But truthfully, being a Chicago sports fan is literally the worst thing ever.
No, you had Michael Jordan. Come on.
Well, yeah, but it was over by like 96. Like the White Sox won all in 05, and that was it. The White Sox won all 05.
I'm in
Bulls
Minnesota.
are the best teams
when
in the
was
90s.
our last championship?
In any,
1991.
well, Twins.
Yeah,
Oh,
1991. Kirby
Kirby
Puckett.
Puckett, yeah.
Game 6, home run. Jack Morris, Game 7.
Yeah.
10 innings, shutout.
Man,
I don't know why we got on this tangent, but Minnesota's awesome.
Jack Morris had a fantastic mustache.
10 inning shutout, Game 7.
That's what you got to do.
Will
Kirby Puckett,
never
double off the fence.
Ever be done again.
Glenn,
What do pitchers do now? Like 5 innings?
well,
maybe?
I mean, Mark Burley, when the White Sox won all in 05 and went 11-1,
That was 14 years ago.
it was. It's
Now they have openers that pitch 1 inning for the opener.
It's a different game. It's all home runs.
Millennials have ruined baseball and
Basketball
Scotch.
and football.
And football.
I don't know what
They've ruined it all.
I don't know what a catch is in football. All you in basketball shoot 3-pointers and layups and foul shots. And then basketball is just, baseball is just home runs and strikeouts.
That's how you know you're old, when you're complaining about the current situation on things, and you can drink this kind of scotch.
You know you've arrived.
You've
or
arrived.
left.
When you complain about the kids these days,
You've
and
either
when-
arrived or you've left.
when I was a kid, I walked to school in the snow, uphill both ways, while this was being distilled, waiting to come to me right now.
But what was the grade though? If it was like 3%, that's not much of a grade. Like technically, if you're not walking downhill, you're walking
You're
up.
talking about me to school?
Yeah.
So, I didn't grow up in this house, but my house I grew up in, it was like a 10-12. For those who do roofing, it was a 10-12. I'm not kidding. Sometimes you get stuck in a drift.
Speaking of stuck in a drift, man, I am just stuck on how sweet this nose is. It is just candied. You know what? I just picked it up. Vanilla.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Candied vanilla.
It's vanilla. The
Candied
vanilla
orange.
is a dank vanilla.
It's all wet.
Dank. It's all wet.
It's all wet.
Are you gonna grade this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna grade this one. But I had my second sip first because it got so fruity and so orange and so citrus, and it just
So
the maritime, medicinal hospital
yes, the
notes
medicinal.
are just
The
in
bandages.
the background.
Horse talks about bandages.
Horse linen?
Yeah. You know the bandages when you put on you open up a fresh gauze.
No, I'm an American. I don't put on bandages. I
Whatever.
throw
You've
scotch.
opened up
I
gauze.
throw scotch on the wound.
I'm
I just
American.
keep
I
going.
use foreign whiskey.
I use foreign whiskey on my forearm
After we paid the tariff.
because that's how we do it. And watch the Bears lose every weekend. All right, second sip time. Juicy orange candy. Juicy fruit bubblegum. Hubba Bubba bubblegum. Red apple. Soft red apple. Like, you ever see the people like in Christmas movies where they bob for apples?
Oh my.
Like, you know those apples are all wet, right?
I can't speak because my mouth is watering.
Yes.
When a horse says
It's
mouth
not-
watering, I'm
Yes.
literally drooling.
And it's not drying at all. It's so juicy.
Oh my god.
Such a juicy palate.
This is a juicy, juicy whiskey.
It's almost like I was in Jamaica and I had what someone said was a passion fruit. I don't know if it was a passion fruit. It looked like a passion fruit. I bit into it and it was so sugary, dense. It's just like that. I mean, literally, it looks the color of passion fruit.
It's so different. I'm telling you, if you would have tasted this 5 months ago with me, we would have been drinking a different bottle.
Well, that's
It's
why.
unbelievable how different this is.
Hey, I want it when it's at its peak. And now that you have about,
it's
25%
peaking.
gone, it's peaking.
We're just going to hit the rest of this tonight. Throw out everything we just said. We're just going to finish it off.
Share it with the kids. All right, so I got to score this whiskey. Well, how long have I been rambling? 25 minutes? All right, so I got to score this whiskey. I am at a straight 94 out of 100 on this one. This is the best excuse me. Did I say Ardbeg? This is the best Laphroaig.
It's an Ardbeg glass.
You have all these Ardbegs behind you. I mean, he literally, between
You're
the
staring at
20-somethings,
it.
how
We
many
can drink it.
20-somethings do you have? 15? 18?
I had 16. We just finished one off. We should drink the 23 and we should do a tasting on the 23 out of that.
Yeah, we can.
We'll do that later. Sorry, not to digress.
Yeah, whatever. But I still say this is right up here with one of the best Islay experiences I've ever had. If I had to rate my 3 best Islay whiskeys, none of the 20-something Ardbegs would be in there. This would be here. Lagavulin 24 would be there. Which you're gonna have an opportunity
My heart.
to taste.
Ardbeg 23 wouldn't be in your top 3.
Islay whiskeys? No.
Oh.
You know this is a better whiskey
He's
than
getting
Ardbeg
ready to
23.
fight. There's a
You
fight.
know this is a better whiskey than
It's
Ardbeg 23.
fighting words.
Cast strength, older.
I'm going to agree with you on 24. But the fighting words are going to come out later. We're going to break out the Ardbeg 23. Just
And
to
the
give you
decanter.
guys an idea. That's Ardbeg 23, 20-something.
Yeah, so basically we were having an epic night drinking here in Indianapolis, Indiana. Any of you Hoosier fans that are around here, you should have hit me up before. You should have heard me talking about it. And you should have came to Carmel.
You should have. I can't imagine how much scotch we had, the value in the scotches we had tonight.
Incredible.
We ran through them.
It was a great day.
But I got to go. I give that one the nod.
No, this I'm telling you guys, this Laphroaig 32. If you're a Laphroaig fan, if you ever get a chance to get your hands on this one, do it. It's an excellent bottle.
100% agree with him. It's
Yep.
kind of like the 85 Bears. You can't disagree with them, but he is a Bears fan.
Nope.
So
I wouldn't believe you if you did.
Ardbeg 23 would beat this. But this is first world problems, right? Like
Yep.
the nits we're picking here, if you're given a gun to your head and said you can only drink one whiskey the rest of your life, which one are you gonna take? Oh man, what a bad.
Well, there's no wrong answer.
You're screwed. Right?
There's no wrong
Yeah,
answer.
there's no wrong answer.
You're not screwed. You literally don't have a wrong answer. It's like blonde or brunette. They're both right.
They are.
They're both
They are.
right.
Yeah.
New England Patriots, Golden State Warriors. They're both right. Champions.
Now you've alienated everybody else out there.
Who's a better basketball player, Michael Jordan or LeBron James? It doesn't matter, because that's what we got here.
Now we might actually fight, because you're not saying LeBron James.
No, it's Michael Jordan.
Okay, thank God.
It's Michael Jordan.
I work with
Highest
millennials.
PER ever.
I work with millennials. They're like, LeBron James. Like, really?
Yeah, because they just saw it and everything's the greatest.
Really, guys?
I'm sorry. A little spill.
No, it's not. Sorry. Apologize to the whiskey.
A little spill. Getting sloppy. All right. With that, you know where I'm at. 94 out of 100. This is one of the best Islas. This is ranked right up here with the Lagavulin 1991 24-year-old. Excellent whiskey.
Where'd the box go?
This
Grab
right
the
here.
box, yeah.
Excellent whiskey. This Laphroaig 32. And I will say, as opposed to the 25s, they cut the little notch out, so you can actually get the bottle in easier here, which you can't on the 25-year-old. So beautiful box, very similar to the 25-year-old with the jewelry box latch. Incredible whiskey. Cory, thank you.
You're welcome, brother.
Thank you for letting me try this. Have multiple drinks of it. I was super impressed with it. Again, my favorite Laphroaig I've ever tried. I want to thank you for once again joining for another one of Mike's whiskey reviews. Until next time, I'll see you in the comments section, and I wish you happy drinking.